Okay, we're outside now, so it's a bit windy, so I hope you can hear me. We're going to use grey primer, and again I'm going to show you the distances of spraying this, okay? I've got an old table here, so I use this old table to do my own spraying, but anything will do. The distance you want to be is about, just make sure you can see this, very difficult to show, but probably from where the item is, probably about where that is. So the edge of that bottom table to that is where you should be, okay? So you want about that distance when you're spraying. You're just going to light coat all around it. I'm going to do the underneath this one first, because I need to do the flat base. And again, spray primer first, shake it up, and off you go. So there we go, first coat. You see on the nozzle now, with these sometimes you get a little bit of overspray. One thing I should have showed you then is that before you spray, usually tip the can upside down and just give a couple of squirts out, and that'll stop things like that happening. So a couple of squirts out, it'll get the release agent going, and again keep shaking. It doesn't take too long to dry this, so I'll just pause the video in a minute and I'll show you what it looks like, okay? Okay, so this is the item after the first coat of the primer on the back. You can see it's still drying, so it's a little bit shiny, but already on the edges you can see it's drying, and it goes to a matte finish, okay? So that's the difference between this one and some of the other primers. If you did this with the Plastitote and the satin black straight away, then you would have this effect, this shininess, but with this one it adds a very powdery finish, and it gives it a nice sort of smooth finish. It'll be a little bit rough, a little bit rougher than sort of the Citadel range, but it's not too bad, okay? So I'm going to go over the top as well. You can see there on the edges where it's just hit it. Again, light coats, you know, not over. You see a lot of overspray around the edges, but not right near it spraying it. They do this with resin, and you're going to absolutely ruin your model. It's got to be from a distance. Several quick squeezes like I was showing before, you know, all over it, and then you should get a nice finish like that, okay? So again, I'm just going to, it should be pretty much dry now, so I'm going to quickly turn it over and do the top. Okay, again, as you saw, nice spray over it, not spending too long on any parts, and just from a decent distance, giving it a good coat. The importance is to not make it thick. If you do it thick, then you're going to have a problem, okay? So nice even coats. Once this is dry, we'll do it straight over with KS Black, and then it's done. And again, I'll restate, you could straight away paint with this, you don't have to do another coat. Okay, so you can just paint onto the primer. Another little trick you can do, say you're doing, say you've bought you a nice 500 quid, whatever, Chaos Warhound Titan, or, yeah, we'll stick with Chaos one, because Chaos are the best. Say you've bought that, and you've got a lot of flat surfaces, a lot of large flat surfaces. Once you've sprayed it with this primer, what you're going to do then, you can do to get a really smooth finish, especially if you've got a lot of flat planes. If you get some wet and dry paper, it's like a sandpaper, it's called wet and dry, add a little bit of water to it, just go over the surfaces. It'll take a bit of the primer off, but it'll leave a very thin, very smooth surface, so that's sort of the extra step you can do. Because we're doing small scale stuff, it's not really relevant because you can't, the wet and dry, you won't be able to really get it into the places you need it to, so. But if you're doing large scale stuff like that, then that's the best solution, okay? Now, I'm going to go over it now with the Chaos Black. I think it's about right to do it. You should leave it a little longer than probably I have here, but I'm showing you a video, so it doesn't really matter. But, you know, leave it for a good amount of time, make sure it's absolutely dry to the touch, and then you'll be able to spray your Chaos Black on it. Again, same process, warm it up in the water, spray the nozzle out, and then spray. Which I'm going to do now.